Hello, beautiful people. SN Valdez here again with another video. Today we're actually going to be doing a how to draw video for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, the 2022 version. So it apparently did come out in theaters. Yeah, it says right here, December 9th it came out in select theaters, but it's pretty much a Netflix movie. I was just watching it with some family. One, because of the director, Guillermo. He's very interesting. His past works. I like some of his stuff. I don't like all of it. I'm not like a fangirl or anything. But Pinocchio has been adapted a lot over the years, so I was curious about his adaptation and I guess I've been on a little bit of like a dark vibe type thing, especially since I finished Wednesday again for like the second time. Well, I've been rewatching each episode about 3 to 4 times, and that's mostly because I fall asleep because I watch it late at night. But that doesn't mean it's boring or anything. It's just I've been using it as a way to construct newer thoughts and maybe dive deep back into darker genres, macabre genres, things like that I haven't really done much of lately. I used to write a lot of like mini horror stories and stuff like that. So it has been definitely in my mindset as of late. But yeah, FYI, there are spoilers in this video. So if you don't want spoilers, please don't continue watching. We're going to be drawing this picture right here with Pinocchio and Mr. Cricket there. I don't think he's called Jiminy in this movie. I don't remember what he's called. Sebastian J. Cricket. Yes, that is the cricket's name in this movie. Oh, and I never actually watched The Shape of Water. I heard different things about it. Some people liked it that I had talked to. Others hadn't liked it as much. It's just up to preference, really, you know. But yeah, this was definitely different than I'll be honest, I didn't go in expecting anything at all, really. But it was different enough where I came out of the movie thinking, wow, that was more thought-provoking than I thought it would be. So essentially, this Pinocchio takes place during fascist Italy. It actually starts the introduction, I guess, to Geppetto's story because he lost his son, and he lost his son as part of World War I, actually, in some of the bombings, and he became a drunk, but he was still a skilled woodmaker. So one day he just finally got fed up. He was at the grave site of his son who had passed due to a church bombing. And he said, yeah, I want my son back. This is ridiculous. I want him back. I'm going to bring him back to life with this piece of wood. And it was a special piece of wood that that Geppetto had planted from a pine cone that his son had essentially died for. His son went back into the church and died, basically getting this pine cone back. And then, church exploded, and that's how we get into the main story, where they call it a forest sprite or something like that, but it's actually an angel that appears to Sebastian J. Cricket and tells him, "Oh, this piece of wood you're living inside, Cricket, I'm going to be bringing it to life, and if you can act as a guide slash conscience for this wooden boy who will be coming back to life or who will be given life, you get any wish you want or whatever." And Sebastian J. Cricket, he's trying to write a memoir. He's like, "Oh, so I could be rich, I could be famous, I could get my novel published," like all this stuff, and the angel slash forest sprite is just like, "Yes, yes, whatever you desire, blah blah blah." But yeah, I think they probably shied away from calling it an angel because of the biblical implications, but it was an angel. Anyone who's read the Bible deeply understands what biblically accurate angels are look like. And there's two types of angels depicted here. There's one that obviously gives life, and then there's like the angel of death, sort of. And they both have wings. Well, not yes, they both have wings, but there's noticeably like a lot of eyes. on their wings and along their body, and that is accurate to the I believe they're called the Ophanim. They're the highest order of angels. Like there's cherubim, there's I think they're called like manikim or something like that, seraphim, and then the Ophanim, Malkalim. That's what they're called. I think it's called Malkalim, the one that's above the cherubim and like importance or whatever. But yeah, the depictions in this movie of those angelic like creatures that give life and sort of take it ish. They basically look like cherubim. So cherubim in the Bible, they're actually human animal hybrids. Sometimes they've been described as sphinx-like or chimera-like because they can have features of lions, bulls, oxes, some other stuff. I don't remember everything about it. It's been a while since I've read those passages in the Bible, but yeah. So definitely these creatures were like a mixture of the Ophanim and like the cherubim. So the Ophanim, they're literally these gold rings that have eyes all over them. And it's actually fairly odd description. I recommend reading up or just doing like a cursory like Google search on these. It's very interesting what angels are actually described as in the Bible. Very, very interesting. But yeah, so it's cherubim, they're the lowest ranking, and then the Malkalim, something along those lines. Those are the ones that look most like humans actually. And those are the ones that are also messengers of God. So, like when Mary finds out that she's pregnant with Jesus, it is Malcolm or whatever that tells her this. But in the Bible, it's never described them as having wings, unlike the cherubim and the seraphim. Those obviously have wings. Like the wings, I think, are supposed to, they have like different sets of wings. Some of the wings are for flying, and the other sets are for like covering their bodies and their feet and stuff. Like, I guess kind of like clothing almost. I'm not entirely sure. It's pretty interesting though. I did very much enjoy those depictions. I thought it was really creative and kind of cool looking. But overall, I actually didn't enjoy the animation style. I thought it was kind of uncomfortable looking, and awkward. I appreciate the artistic choices, but I wasn't a fan of the art style, honestly. I thought the children especially looked very, like, Play-Doh-y and weird. Like, they didn't look like children to me. They kind of look like creatures, like if aliens had come to Earth and were told, okay, I need you to like make a model of a human. Like this is their attempt at making the model of a human child, and it just looks bizarre and very awkward and kind of gross, honestly. Like I really didn't like the way they molded the children in this adaptation. As for the time period, it takes place during a fascist Italy, so obviously Mussolini is in charge, and him and Hitler were like buddies basically, with the Axis powers. Very, very bad man. And Pinocchio actually does poke fun at him at some point in the movie. Like Mussolini does come to like see him perform as a puppet, and yeah, Pinocchio and his buddy, like this monkey, basically just make a bunch of poop jokes about Mussolini. It's actually kind of funny. That was kind of entertaining. But yeah, I just wasn't a fan overall of this depiction. It just felt odd. And I know I grew up with the Disney version, the one that came out like years ago, the Disney Pinocchio. So I'm clearly biased towards that a bit. But yeah, I just really didn't like the animation style, like at all. Although there are very cool designs, the contrasting colors are very, very intricate and vivid, and they provide like great backdrops. Like it's beautiful. They're in the like the Tuscan countryside. Geppetto, that's where he lives. And that's where he basically ends his life too. So Pinocchio never actually looks like a real boy either. He just stays wooden the entire time, even when our cricket character here, because Pinocchio basically drowns, saving Geppetto, and the cricket says, "Well, it's not fair. I want Pinocchio to come back to life," and he does, but he's still a wooden boy. But I think it's his last life maybe because he doesn't age. Like I don't think he can be taken out by like illness or old age or anything. Like it has to be he probably can only die by like fire or by drowning again like he did when he saved Geppetto from the ocean after they got out of the whale. Is my guess. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so Pinocchio basically just roams the earth once Geppetto, the cricket, and the monkey that helped him like make fun of Mussolini in the puppet show. Like once all three of them die, Pinocchio just wanders around aimlessly. Uh, I don't know. That seems like a really sad existence. He just has nobody anymore. He just wanders, and it's like, well, I guess that's a fine ending because he's technically immortal. But I don't know. I didn't like the ending. I didn't really like the movie as a as an artistic piece. It was done well. It had a lot to say about um, war themes, being mostly set in World War II once Pinocchio was essentially born. So there's that, but I don't know. I didn't like it as much as I wanted to. Like I feel like I should have liked it more, but I just didn't. And then Pinocchio is actually very disobedient in this adaptation. And he doesn't lie as much as he does in some of the other adaptations I've seen. He still lies, and his nose grows like it does in other stuff. As for how close this depiction is towards the book, I think the original book it was more heavily skewed towards like trying to teach children to be obedient. Whereas this one, he's just not obedient at all. He throws tantrums. He says, "No, I don't want to do that." Like whatever it is, it could be anyone telling him to do stuff, and he won't want to do it. It's pretty interesting. And he even Pinocchio even gets sent to like this like wartime camp where him and a bunch of other Italian boys are getting ready to go to war for Mussolini. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I'm sorry, I had some soda. Anyways, but yeah, and basically, they're trying to pit the boys against each other, to like simulate them fighting the enemy. But the boys end up like Pinocchio and this other kid that kind of they had like a little bit of a feud going on. They kind of come together, accept each other's differences, they become pals, and then they basically win, quote unquote, the war together by posting both of their flags up on the pole. But like the dude who's in charge of trying to teach the boys war, he's like really like irritated about it, and he tries to punish them. He especially tries to kill Pinocchio. Like he's trying to egg on the other kid to like murder Pinocchio because Pinocchio is prior to him saving Geppetto, he is immortal. Like at that time, he could die any number of times and he would still come back to life. And so that's why the guy was telling the kid, just shoot the puppet or whatever. He'll come back to life anyways, basically. But you need to learn how to kill. And this puppet is great practice for learning how to kill, especially for the battlefield and stuff. So it has a lot of dark themes in it, that's for sure. But yeah, it was a very interesting piece. It's a very long movie. It had some very slow spots. But yeah, the most interesting thing to me was definitely the depictions of the like cherubim ophanim hybrids who were essentially in charge of Pinocchio's life and death cycle. And yeah, I mean, Geppetto is like lucky, dude. He's lucky he has such a chill like I call the forest sprite like a guardian angel. One, because it basically is a accurate, biblically accurate depiction of an angel, and it just so happens to like want to take care of Geppetto and even create like life inside of this wooden puppet so it can give Geppetto joy and happiness and comfort in his later years, because he's old and well, he does die. As you see Pinocchio live his life out with Sebastian J. Cricket, the monkey, and Geppetto at the end of the movie. You just watch all of them age. Geppetto's like in a wheelchair and stuff. You can see him slowly declining. And yeah, so that's why, I don't know. It just felt like a sad ending, honestly. Pinocchio's alone. He doesn't get to, I don't know, unless he does the commit die. I don't see how he can escape his fate. But it does look like he's content at the end of the movie to just wander, which is cool, I guess. But yeah, that just doesn't seem like a happy ending to me. But I guess it wasn't exactly a happy backdrop for the movie either, since they chose fascist Italy to be that. I mean, this book wasn't even written during World War II. This was written in the late 1890s, I think, late 1800s. So it's definitely not an accurate portrayal of the book. And I'm not sure if there is an accurate like adaptation like that's really close to the book or not. I'm not sure. I've never dug that deep into the Pinocchio lore. But yeah, I'd say this is probably like a 5 out of a 10. Maybe that's too low, maybe that's too mean. I don't know. Definitely not my favorite. I don't think I'd ever watch it again. Not that I don't appreciate the effort. There's definitely a lot of effort that went into this. It's just not my favorite. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this how to draw video. We have Pinocchio here. He's very happy. He has Sebastian J. Cricket here on his nose branch. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me for this video. I know I said I'd do a Wednesday video. I just haven't yet. I don't know. I want to watch it again before I offer my final opinion on it, I suppose. But yeah, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week and welcome to 2023. 2022 is officially behind us, so let's try to move forward in the new year with some brighter attitudes and positive thinking. So, bye bye, you guys. I'll see you again in the next one.